Well, hey guys, my name is Mike Calvin with Jewelry Ecomm. Thanks for coming to the first session of the second day. I know it's early, so thanks for showing up, and I will let Anish take it away. All yours.
Good morning. Thank you, Mike, for having me here. Hoping everybody can hear me. So that's a good thing. We tested these mics out in the morning, which is a good way to start. And for everybody that's joining in from the West Coast, it's really early. So thank you for joining in because it's 5:45 your time. We're going to go through a lot of details into this session and cover up some 5 great topics. You know, everybody that is out over there probably in 2020 did teach us that absolutely websites are a necessity, but not only are they a necessity, they are definitely very, very important for us to conduct day-to-day business. So as you set up your website, you know, the questions that we get, I've got my website up and running, but I'm not getting enough traffic. I am not having sales coming in from e-commerce. I am not, you know, how do I change the customer experience that is on my website? So these are just some of the things, but a whole bunch of these things can actually become part of the ingredients of a great website. And that is really how you want to take the approach. So as you set up your store and you had showcases, lights, safes, employees, and all the other things that you put together to set the store, the same amount of energy is going to go into your website. It's just the different ingredients and the tools. But most of these tools that you are going to be integrating are going to be digital tools. Most of these tools are not only digital tools, but are going to be very cost effective for you to implement it. And those are the 5 tools that I'm going to talk about. I want you to stay all the way until the end because the 5th tool, all the way up to where it is that we're going to be talking about, is going to be really, really interesting in terms of what I'm going to be presenting. So there are different platforms that you might be using for your website. Some of you might use Shopify. Some of you might use your own custom Wix, WooCommerce, and all these other platforms. Some of you might have customized it on .NET. Irrespective of what platform your website is built on, most of these tools that I'm going to be talking about today will work seamlessly into most of all that you want to integrate. And what it's going to do is actually take your customer experience to the next level. And that is what we are going to shoot for in this presentation. Combined, all of these tools are very, very inexpensive. Sometimes when you look at your business and you might look at it, you know, $100 a month, $50 a month to add this tool, $200 a month to whatever to add this up here. Yes, those are expenses, but combined on this packet that I'm going to be putting out over there, most of these are probably from free to about no more than a couple $100 a month. So your total cost would never be exceeding $500 a month. I'm just giving you an example. And this is really a fraction of a cost of what it will do for your business. So let's get started with that into a slide presentation that I'm going to be talking about. And I'm hoping once I share my screen here, you guys will be able to see what I'm saying into it. So we go into it. Let me just, there we go. These were just numbers that you probably have seen. I'm not going to be talking about numbers because I really want to get into the nitty gritty of the 5 tools that I'm going to bring into it. So you always have experienced what I call somebody putting an item into a shopping cart and not checking out. There are 2 tools, 2 great tools for that I have done in my research, and I'm going to recommend both of these tools out over there. And these will help you from cart abandonment. And not only that, but it will help you fulfill and convert that into sales. The first one I'm going to bring to your attention is PrivateConvert. PrivateConvert is a great tool. You can probably take a screenshot of that website that is out there, or you can Google it out, and you will see how PrivateConvert is going to work. The entire shopping experience is going to change in terms of how PrivateConvert helps your customers take the item that they put into the cart and change the experience of that shopping customer. most of the times what we are looking for is simple answers. You know, we put an item into the cart. Sometimes we're not sure whether we're going to be buying it. Sometimes we could be not sure about whether, you know, the company that we're going to be ordering has enough credibility in terms of or Google reviews or whatever it is to order the item. So if you have these connections built into the site of the item and the actual user Google reviews, you can actually put in aggregator reviews that your store has total and put it next to an item as they're going through the experience. But PrivateConvert will help you walk through all of those things and more for a well-planned executed game. And I would say once you have PrivateConvert, and there are a couple other people, there are a couple other companies that actually do these cart abandonment triggers very well to solve the problem. And they're actually listed on these things. We're going to go into the site, but they have great resources available as you go to each of these sites that will also help you in terms of how to handle the cart abandonment thing. Now, the good thing why I wanted to bring PrivateConvert is PrivateConvert has a free version. It has got about 5,000 page views per month. So as a small business, you know, I think you'll fall into the category and you could start off with almost free. You will be able to generate your targeted marketing content very, very easily, beautifully, and customize it to the needs of what the item is that was put into the shopping cart, and then engage the customer experience. So where it would be, you know, if a customer is left, there would be a follow-up email, or it could prompt in, you know, here's an extra 10% off if this item is checked out, or you could say only one available right up here. You know, could be sold out. The last 10 were sold out in the last 1 month. There are a lot of ways to create these excitements and cross-sell these items out over there. The next one that I'm going to bring up this, and you might want to again take a screenshot, and I know this will be available, is LiveRecover. There's a big difference between Private, which is about $30 a month, from a free plan to a $30 a month, versus LiveRecover. LiveRecover actually starts at about $49 a month, but it's like having your own salesperson. 10% of what recovered sales is what you're going to pay for them as a commission, which you would have paid anyway willingly if you got the sale. So as your website is 24/7 running, you don't know what time people are shopping and what time they put an item into the cart, but a real live person will follow up with your abandoned cart in real time via text messaging. How cool is that? I mean, they have a success rate right now of about 21% on the abandoned cart. So really, if you get 10 or 15% customer right back, and you're only paying $49 a month and 10% of recovered sales, that is huge. They have also one plan above that, which is the enterprise level. But most small businesses, I think, will be very comfortable in this plan right up here, which is offered by LiveRecover. And keep in mind, all of these have Shopify integrations. So if you have a Shopify site, these are your add-ons that will come into your site and can be easily integrated, or they could be integrated into with open APIs that are available on most of these two different platforms that you could be using. Some of this might require what I call managed services, because a lot of you might not be tech savvy in terms of how to integrate this correctly. But most of these tools that are like LiveRecover and Private, they already have a tech team that will help you walk through the process on how to integrate these tools. So once you start, there's a vetting process, and it'll be easy to go with it completely in terms of where it is going. And this is 2017 data. So obviously, you know, the texting is a big part of conversion, and especially if somebody is actually doing it as a LiveRecover, it will be really, really good. So now that you have talked about, and we've talked about this, I could go into details on a lot of these things, but I'm giving you shorter presentations because we are doing this and crunching it within 30 minutes. So I got to go through some of these really, really fast. This one that I'm talking about, the next one, this is number 3, and this is Setmore. Now, we implemented Setmore actually on our own website into the pandemic. It completely changed how we do business. It's a free software, believe me, up to the point where it's been almost a year now that I've been using it, and we have not paid a single dollar in subscription fees or taken even the higher end version, which is only $10 or $12 a month, because what I wanted to do for my business is doing it great. So how Setmore works is very simple. Setmore is a appointment scheduling software. So just like Calendly and the other ones that you might have heard, those are paid versions. Setmore is completely free. It has a widget. So the beauty about the widget is it has an open API, which can be literally set up. And I did this on my own. Even though I have a technical team, I did not reach out to my technical team to integrate this. This is how easy it is, because they literally walk you through step by step. Now, why I prefer Setmore versus any other tools, and I'll share that with you. What Setmore does is it allows your customers to schedule an appointment. And so even if you have a customer that has called into the store for an appraisal services, correct? And you might want to say, you know what, why don't you go to my website, click on schedule an appointment link, and choose the hour that is most convenient to you. And best of all, if they are actually long distance or can make it into the store, Setmore has a free, and I'm telling you, free teleport video virtual meetings integration. Teleport is exactly how we set up our meetings. The client gets a video link that they can join in. But more importantly, you have collected their information, which is their email address and their phone number, which is what they need to fill in when they go ahead and do that. So you will have this on your calendar and will be able to reach out to them very effectively. You could set up reminders. You could have unlimited appointments in this. And you can go ahead and set up your own timetable for your appointment. So like if you are busy on a Thursday and you don't want it, you can block that on your calendar so nobody can select Thursday as an option, or if you're out on Tuesday between 2 and 4 because you got some other plans, you can block those segments out. And everything can be done through a video call. This is even great for custom consultations. Initial custom design consultations would work great with the teleport video or virtual meetings where the customer does not have to be in the store. So definitely Setmore is a free tool. Like I said, go to setmore.com. You can set up your accounts very easily. Login is free. I usually go through my Google login or Facebook logins when I go ahead and create these accounts. So I don't have to remember my user IDs and password to all of these accounts. That's exactly how I do it on my end. But these were 3 of the good top tools out over there. The next tools I'm going to go a little bit more in depth into because they require a little bit more effort into explaining what it is. And Yotpo.com is great for customer loyalty and reward programs that you want to build. Now, they have a free version to get you started, but they don't have any pricing. So yes, it's going to be a little bit expensive, but believe me, it's never going to be any more expensive than actually hiring a physical person. It's going to be a lot less than that per month basis. But Yotpo can really simplify what I call your reward programs for your website, as well as your in-store combination. So it will do both for you. And how the reward system works is you can go ahead and create reward point systems from Yotpo in several ways. So if you had a customer that first time visited your website, you can give them 100 points, by simply signing up, correct? Refer a friend, you could give them 100 points. And each of these points, as they start accumulating, would have a dollar value. So let's say if you had 1,000 points, it would be worth about $10 in value. You had 2,000 points, it would be worth about $20 in value. It's the same way. If you hit 5,000 points and you had $50, you'd throw an extra $10 into the value. And all of this can be automated into the reward point system. And you don't have to do anything because the system actually takes care of the entire loyalty program. And the way the program will work for you is, let's say if a customer has bought an item, right? And you bought it in store or versus online, you could actually merge those reward points and work both ways. You'd be able to go ahead and do it with in-store and online. You can set up great reward points for sharing content from Facebook, and all of that could become automated in through the Yotpo facility. So Yotpo is a little bit more, quite a bit more expensive when it comes to it, but it will virtually make your e-commerce marketing platform phenomenal. And as you go to yotpo.com, there's one other thing that I will point out. They have a tab up there for resources. You might want to go ahead and mark this on yotpo.com. And in those resources, they actually have a loyalty program generator. Now, this is very cool. I've tried this out. I recommend it all the time for retailers to go into it. What the loyalty program generator and how it is built is it will ask you a few set of questions. And as you put those few set of questions into that software that they have got up there, it will generate content for you as to what you will need to create a great loyalty program along with suggestions. So with that, you could have, I mean, if your average ticket is, I'm just giving you an example, if your average ticket is $850, if your average ticket is $250, you could customize your loyalty programs and referral programs into terms of how it would work based off of the customer experience. It's not a generic loyalty program that will just go in just the way you want to work it across the board. So there's a lot of customization that is available in the Yotpo platform, and Yotpo is very, very easily integrated into Shopify. So what it will do is the minute you integrate Yotpo into your Shopify site, the whole customer experience will change from that point onwards, because now data is channeled. And as data is channeled, it is collecting information. It is knowing which the user is. And based off of that, it is actually going to make the user keep coming back. If you know what I mean, we've all seen Kohl's cashback. We've all seen Old Navy cashback programs, and several programs run by major retailers. But now, even small businesses can effectively implement a very strong loyalty program for not a very expensive thing very easily. And it can work on your online platform, and it can work in your in-store experience together. And the incentive programs that work for referrals is huge. I mean, you know that your business is built on referrals. You know that a customer that has a good experience, could you imagine you could tell them, instead of giving out, rewards in terms of where we could go and give them rewards, and here's 1,000 points if you give us a referral. And the 1,000 points is actually going to keep accumulating into where they can check in on your website. When they log in, it will show their points, and you can then go from there to go ahead and do what they need to do. Based off of that, the last one that I'm going to be bringing up is, you have heard that Google reviews are extremely important, and texting really became a critical aspect of how businesses were conducted in 2020. And I've looked at a lot of other softwares. TextMeChat is very, very well integrated with a lot of features. But most importantly, it is just not a Google review platform. It does that very well. Facebook reviews very well. It is the ability to connect with your customers very well. But importantly, it will do a lot more than that. And what it does, it has the ability to group your customers. So if you have customers that have bought silver items versus there are customers that are constantly coming in every 30, 60 days for new fashion items, you can group them up into that customer. You could group your bridal customers into one. You could group your February anniversaries and March birthdays into one group. And you'd be able to market it based on that group with the offers that you want. So very, very effective ways on doing that. The other part of TextMeChat is that It has a broadcast feature, which will allow you to reach all your customers in one single platform. And that is huge as well. So it will do the Google reviews. It's got a very integrated dashboard. And the most newest feature that is actually just introduced into TextMeChat is going to completely change the way retailers are going to market their product. Imagine being able to create your own custom catalogs without having to do anything right from the software and send it to your customers, whether it's 2 items minimum or 25 or 30 items directly as a buy now option. You could send it to one-on-one customers. You could send it to 200 customers at one time. You could send it to 20 customers. There's a lot of ways you can create your own catalogs here. And especially if you're running vendor flyers through Valentine's, you have done your direct mail marketing, you have done your email campaigns, but you and I both know that anybody that receives a text message through will at least click the link, within the first 3 to 4 minutes and take a look at it, which kind of reinforces what you have to offer for that particular time. And the process, the way it works is as fast as an Amazon checkout. So literally it's safe, it's secure. You can click on it and you will be able to go ahead and go through it within 30 seconds for your customer to check out on the product. Now, I know that Sell by Text is at an introductory price for a very inexpensive amount right now. It's going to go up to $50 a month. So you might want to take advantage of those things as we speak into it. But this is what the package costs. It requires obviously $95 a month, and Sell by Text is an add-on feature. So roughly about $120 a month is what it will cost you. But for $120, imagine if you made 10, 15, 20 sales just simply by generating a text. You could reach out to a customer that is shopping for bridal product. Imagine, and you took pictures right from your phone and got 3 bridal rings for $9.99 or $19.99 and send it over to them. They could actually buy it right there from the checkout portion of just by simply clicking it once the tool is activated in your dashboard. So, there's definitely a lot of interesting tools that we have out over there. I know I've covered them up in a very short synopsis. I know a presentation of this will be available to almost all of you out over there on this. And as I go back to some of these things, we discussed, obviously, Private was one of them, which is a cart abandonment tool. LiveRecover, which will actually take a live person going back and forth on your cart abandonment. The next thing that we discussed was Setmore, which was more like an app that you can set up your appointments, but with a video conferencing tool already built into it. The 2 exciting ones in the end that I discussed was Yotpo, as I go over it, which is the loyalty reward program, which is a great tool for integration. And then the last one that we went on was TextMeChat. But with these 5 tools, Private and LiveRecover are kind of similar, so you could decide on one or the other. And the remaining 3 tools are all independent tools as to what you do. So basically, if you added all of these 4 tools, you might be looking at very little money of what you would be doing, but you'll be completely changing that customer experience on your website. So I definitely want to go ahead and encourage you. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me also at stargems.com. That's where we are, and we are a technology company as well as a custom design house in terms of what we do. And also we can help elaborate some of these tools by simply sending an email out to sales@stargems.com if you wanted to discuss them in further details. And I'll let Mike know if there's any other questions that are required coming into as we come to the end of the conversation in this meeting.
Yeah, Anish, we have a question from Seema. It says, for Yotpo, how about if you have Squarespace instead of Shopify?
Yes, so a Square is definitely integrated into it, into Shopify. So yes, both of those would work very well. together.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? If you do, you could throw them right in the chat. Well, Anish will answer them for you.
So while you're going through the questions, if there are anything that is coming in, I will mention loyalty programs are definitely the way to change your customer experience. You know, they're huge. They're huge. And the more tools that you set up with these tools on your website, that whole customer experience is going to change as to the shopping experience on top of what you already have on your site.
Oh, next question. Does Yotpo integrate with the Edge?
No, so none of these softwares will integrate on the point of sale system softwares, because that's not where the integration is going to come through. These loyalty programs are actually created for more of an e-commerce tool and more of a customer experience directly for your website. So keep in mind, you know, not everything has to work off a point of sale system is the way I look at it. What I really look at it is your website is your separate store by itself, except with a much less overhead. And you are creating these tools just like you created a point of sale system for your store. You're creating these tools for your web store.
We've got a question from Diane. How does Setmore compare to Calendly?
So the reason why I like Setmore much more better is because, one, I don't have to pay for it. It's a free tool, and I've been using it for a year. But more importantly, it is allowing me to do video conferences with endless time limits as well. So I can actually get and share a link and start a conversation literally while I'm on phone with the customer and say, hey, I just sent you a link. Why don't you join with this link? And we'll do this over a video conference, which is great if it needs to be an instant appointment versus being set up in advance.
Very cool. Alfredo asks, can Privy be integrated with retargeting campaigns?
So no, I don't have an answer to that question because I don't know what that is. I would have to research it, but send me that over. And if there's an email attached to it, I'll be more than happy and get back to the customer with a question.
Okay. Tanya asks, on TextMeChat, the pictures you can send to customers with the prices and such, can they come directly from your website, or do they have to enter them independently?
So that's the cool thing about it. So you can, right now there does not have the integration, but you'd have to download the image just like you would create a folder and just upload it into it. But the good thing about once the catalog is actually created, that item stays in your catalog forever. So you don't have to add it once again. You can use it at any later date as you go along and either sell it or replenish it.
Perfect. It looks like that's the end of questions. If anybody else has anything, just let us know.
Perfect.
I think that's all the questions, Anish.
That's awesome. Well, we certainly thank everybody that has joined in today. And like I said, thank you, Mike and Howard, both for putting this great event together. We couldn't do it without you. And I'm hoping as we have other people view this, we will go ahead and have some more questions, and I'll always be available to answer questions here simply via email or just reach out to us through the platform.